Hello, welcome to Circulate by CDA with me, Stuart Aldis. Today we're going to talk about branding, do's and don'ts. Now the word branding has such a broad spectrum of meaning depending on who you're talking to. Some people think a brand is a logo. Some people think brand's a colour palette. Some people think brand's a guideline document. But a brand for me is so much more. A brand for me is why somebody engages with you in the first place. So what I want to do today is just give you some tips and tricks about do's and don'ts when it comes to branding. So you may be in a position that you've got an existing brand and you want to, create a brand refresh, or you're a startup and you need to create a name and identity and start from the very beginning. So here's some ideas for you. First thing is research and know your target audience. Know who you're selling to. If your product or service is tailored to an older generation of say 60 plus, the way you communicate and the way your brand will be perceived is completely different to somebody who's in their 20s. So know and research your audience. Make sure your brand is legible. Make sure people can understand how you're meant to pronounce it and what it actually says. I see so many logos and I can't even read what the logo says because it's too squashed and it's just illegible to me. And again, this comes back to the profile of people. If your brand is tailored towards slightly an older demographic, think about readability. You need to also plan how your brand is perceived on different mediums. Go back 20, 30 years ago, we had a brand that was probably on your letterhead and your business card. Nowadays, your brand is used in so many different touch points, from social media to websites to mobile apps to electronic business cards to all the other electronic versions of your app. So think about how it's going to be used on different devices at different sizes. And design for multiple variations of your brand. If you think of brands such as Uber, which is a good example, their actual proper logo has the word Uber written underneath the logo. Go to the mobile app and it's just the icon, but you can relate the two. So think about the different variations. Is the brand going to look different on a mobile device to as it's going to look on a letterhead? Also, pay attention to colour theory and about the moods and the feelings behind colours. You can quite easily Google colour theories for brands and you'll learn a lot about how different colours have different feelings and perceptions by your audience and demographic. Things to really avoid is don't make your brand too detailed with lots and lots of strap lines. Don't copy another brand. That's the easiest thing to do in the world, is to take somebody's brand and make it very close to your own. You need to stand out and be unique, and copying brands is not a good way to do that. Think about the brand heritage and keep the brand heritage as much as possible. So if you're going through a migration where you're going from an existing brand to a new brand, don't think about the people that already engage with your brand and know it. Take them on a transitional journey so that they understand and know you're still part of that same brand. So we've seen lots of companies where they wanted to refresh their brand and they've completely got a brand new logo, a new name, new strap lines, everything's completely different from the old, and they've lost existing business because of that. So think about your existing customers and take them on a journey. With your brand, make sure, I'm going to go back to the do's again, make sure it stands out from the crowd, it engages with your right demographic, and make sure as well behind your brand that you have the right infrastructure. So you know why you exist, you know your values of brand, and you know what you want to achieve with your brand. If you'd like any more information about, how this can be a bit more personal to you, then please feel free to get in touch and I'd be glad to give you some advice and offer some tips. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, please take care.